Hey everybody, this is Sherry with CPR Craft Pray Repeat, and I'm here today with an Imagine That Digi image called Rose Blessings, and I had a awesome time coloring this. I will make sure that I put the colors that I use on the screen. This is a perfect image if you are new to coloring with alcohol markers and are just learning, because there's spaces that are nice and big, there's spaces that are small, so it gives you a chance to practice putting in, small, tiny, flicks of color versus, having to, needing to fill up a space with a larger one. Then it, if you only have a few markers, it's great because you need some green markers for your leaves, and then whatever color you have, you can color your rose in. So it's perfect for a starter image for somebody who's just gathering their alcohol markers or just learning. And I will make sure that I put a link for it in the description box so that you can find it real easily. And I do want to let you all know that I'm not sure if I will have any more videos up the rest of this week. I do have some videos ready, but with the hurricane coming, I figured it was probably more important that I make sure my family was taken care of than, me whipping out a couple more videos there. So I will try, and as long as I get everything ready, I will definitely put out as many as I can. And if you all could keep my daughter-in-law in your prayers, I would greatly appreciate it. She lived up north, so she hasn't lived in Florida very long, and they live just outside of Tampa in Plant City. So this is really the first hurricane that she's, ever possibly had to deal with, because all the other ones weren't anywhere near her. And so she's really afraid, and she's like, I'm going to Ohio. If it's coming this way, I'm going to Ohio. And bless her heart, she doesn't realize that, you ain't going to be able to fly up there because there ain't going to be planes flying. And you ain't going to be able to travel up there because the highways are going to be packed with people trying to, leave the area. So and I remember that when my husband and I first got married and he was still in the Navy and we were in California, and the first earthquake I went through, after my husband pried my fingernails out of his flesh, I was like, that's it, I'm going back to West Virginia, had all this I can take, I'm ready to leave. And I think that she's feeling the same way. So please just keep her in your prayers, because I know she's frightened. And I remember, and it wasn't even a big earthquake. But it was an earthquake. And my brain said, we don't have these in West Virginia. I'm going back home. That was it. I was like, you can pack your stuff. Come on. He's like, and go AWOL. I was like, well, whatever it takes, we're leaving here. And so he finally calmed me down, and I did stay, but I was so thankful to not have to go through another earthquake. It scared the bejeebers out of me, folks. So I know that she's afraid, and she's sick on top of it, so please keep them in your prayers. I have faith. I don't know which direction this hurricane's coming, but I do know that God's going to take care of us, and I don't know what his plan is, and boy, do I wish I did sometimes. But no matter what, God will get us through whatever it is. So just keep us and all of the other folks in Florida in your prayers, because this storm is massive, and Florida's a long, skinny state, so this hurricane could easily encompass the entire state, easily, at least at the size it is right now. So, but God will take care of us. We just sit back and make sure we've got all the water and stuff that we need, and let God take care of the rest. See how quickly this went together? As a matter of fact, I did a total of 4 of these, And that's what I said. I mean, it takes, I use the same greens for the leaves on 2, and then use another set of greens just to give a variety. And I'm giving these to a lady that I know who's very sweet, and purple is her favorite color. So I tried to use shades of purple. I think I may have went a little into the pinky purple, but I still think it's okay, and I think it's still close. You'll see at the end. I do show pictures of them at the end, and I also hold them up so that you can see them individually and see the sentiments that I put on the inside. And as soon as this one goes up, you guys, this is my idea of being prepared for this hurricane. As soon as this video goes up, I'm going over to Imagine That Digi and downloading a bunch of digital images and printing them out. In the event that I have to leave my home, I want to make sure I have images to color, and I'll grab my markers and my papers with my images, and I'm out the door. I mean, you know, I guess I could probably take my wheelchair, seeing as how I need that, but that's it, and I'll be prepared. And so that's my idea of being prepared for the hurricane, is to make sure I got enough images ready for me to color. Yep, I may have a little bit of confused priority there, I think. But it's just, I love doing this, and it relaxes me, and that image was just, I enjoyed doing it. And you know, sometimes it's like, you think you're done, and then you realize, oh, I forgot that. And then you think you're done, and you're like, oh, I forgot that part. And it feels like sometimes they feel like you're never going to complete an image. But this one goes together so smoothly and just so quickly. It really is nothing but pure pleasure to do. And I'm using my EK writing tools here on this. And I've already done most of it because I didn't figure you guys wanted to see me outline the entire flower. But I wanted to make sure the line was really crisp because of the way I intended to make the card. And you'll see that here in a few minutes. And I just take my Recollections detailed scissors from Michaels, and I trim right along the edge and do my best to get as close as I can, because I didn't want a white border at all. I mean, I didn't want any white to show on this because of the way I'm choosing to make the card base. And I can hardly wait for you to see. I want to tell you now, but I want you to it's like, Jerry, calm down. It's only a couple minutes and then they'll see. But I don't normally make top folding cards. So this was a kind of a change up for me, and it was a lot of fun. And I really hope that the lady I'm sending these to likes them, because I was really tickled with how they turned out. And, you know, God has been so good to me. I feel like He's blessed me so much with all these wonderful images I've had to color lately, and the fact that I'm getting more and more into digital images, and being on, you know, 2 digital design teams has made it to where, you know, color one and I get a new one. And that's really been, it's just been an incredible blessing for me. And so here I'm just going around and finishing up all of the edging, because, you know, in my opinion, that's how my images look finished. And I'm just about done with that. And I love how it turned out. See, and here's my top folding card. And I almost put it upside down, but I caught myself. And I'm layering it, putting it on where I think I'm going to put it, and making sure I get it where I want it, using my ATG tape, which you can pick up at Honey Bunny's Treasures, and I'll put a link for that because she has the ATG tape at a really good price. And I just put it down there real good. I made sure I put a lot of adhesive because I didn't want any of the edges popping up. And I knew I was going to trim around it so that it had a shaped border to the bottom. And I've never done one like this. I don't know why, because I was really happy with how it turned out. I was just like, I liked the way it looked. I liked that you could see the inside of the card. I've never done one like it. I don't know what my deal was, but You know, why I've never tried it before, but I definitely enjoyed it this time. So here I'm just cutting down for the inside of my paper a piece at 4 by 5 1/4, and I'm just going to layer it on the inside. And it's not that dark, the purple, but I could, you know, always slip a piece of white up above, but I wouldn't want it to show below, you know, the flower. So I don't know, I'll have to think about that before I send it out to him to make sure that you could actually see really well. And that's it, guys. That was the front of my card, and I used a stamp set from Sweet and Sassy called Scripture and Sentiments. And I used one, I wanted to make sure you didn't see that either at the bottom. And then I use my VersaFine Onyx Black ink. I had to stop and think. I used my VersaFine Onyx Black ink, and I just stamped it off once because I had never used that sentiment before, but it did perfect. I didn't really need to do that. And that was it, guys. Stamp it down there. I don't close the thing all the way so that I have, you know, time for that to dry, and that's my card. And here are all 4 of the cards that I made, and I will make sure that I hold them up so that you can each see the sentiments in each and every one of them. And then you can see that I used all different shades of purples. And I hope that you guys like this video. If you do, give it a thumbs up and leave a comment below. And remember to practice your CPR, craft, pray, repeat. Thanks for visiting me today, guys, and happy crafting. Bye.